Okay, so we got Dad's RV out here. This is his Georgetown Class A gas motorhome. He's had it for several months now, but first long trip, about 3,300 miles they traveled. I'm over a 3-week period heading up to Utah and Arizona and some other places. But he called me along the way and said he had a water leak, some type of a water-related issue. I think a lot of people can probably relate to that. And the water-related issue is actually happening right above the furnace. So the furnace lives right here, or right in this area, and there's water dripping down. And after he got back, he said, hey, can I bring the RV by? Maybe we can look into it and see what's going on. And if you look in here, just like all RVs, you got a whole mess of plumbing on this side. All your connections are on the other side though, so things kind of work their way over here, and there's your water pump, your SureFlow. But let me show you what we discovered. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so when he brought it here, this drawer was still in, this was still in, which is the slides for the drawer. The leak was happening here. He went, and anytime he would open up the black tank flush or turn on the black tank flush, water would just start dripping down into this cavity right here. So I told him I'm going to take the drawer out, take the backer out so we can investigate it, because it was all behind here. And first and foremost, we had to wonder what was actually being provided water on this side. I know that the water pump is over there, but the water pump lines are actually back there. And the washer and dryer is also, or at least where you would connect the washer and dryer, it's in here. But we weren't getting any water leakage coming from that area. So trying to figure out why water would be pumping into that area was kind of important. On this side is the bathroom and shower. And then I looked underneath and I saw that there were 2 tanks, and I was wondering, well, one of them is the black tank, I'm sure. And I was pretty positive that the water that was going into that black tank was for the black tank flush, since it would only leak when he turned the black tank flush on. And since the drain is going to be on this side, it would make sense that the sprayer would be on that side to allow everything to gravity flow out the drain. So I figured it probably had something to do with the black tank. And again, once we got this piece taken off, we saw this, and this is leaking because it's cracked right here. This is one of those really good reasons to explore what may have cracked or what might have water in it during a freeze, because that's probably when this happened. But when he would open up the black tank flush, this would start spraying water out of these sides. And if you're asking what this is actually a check valve vacuum breaker. So this is essentially designed to prevent water from coming back out of the system whenever you turn off the black tank flush, because you don't want any chance of anything being sucked back into your system. And this is cracked, and it was leaking water all into this area right here. Pretty expensive part for what it is. It's about a $50 part. You can get these on Amazon. They're actually reviewed really well. They got like 4.5 stars. So they're reviewed well, and there's a lot of people that buy these. But this just goes to show that anytime you're dealing with an RV, especially one that can go to different climates where it might be freezing in one area, not freezing in another, or you store it in an area where you might experience a freeze, things like this can break, and you might have to really dive in to see where that problem exists. So this is a pretty easy repair. Again, this is cracked, so it's not really a major plumbing issue, but it could have been a major issue if they, didn't realize how much water was actually building up here and continued to use the system. But believe it or not, people are going to say, this is all cheap stuff that they use in RVs. This is actually a pretty high quality part from the folks at Valterra. Again, this is a $50 part, and it's reviewed really well. But when you're dealing with water pressure and freezing temperatures, water pressure and frozen expanding water can crack anything. It doesn't matter if it's plastic or copper or brass or steel. Enough pressure can crack anything, and this right here just experienced a crack, and that crack led it to fail. And I would actually argue to say that a crack in a material like this would actually fail less than if this was some form of alloy, because plastic tends to kind of seal itself up to some degree when it closes back up. But yep, this is the part that needs to be replaced. And once he throws the new one in, right there, thankfully it's all screw-on connections, he'll be back in business. But I definitely want to share this with you all, especially those of you who are trying to hunt down water-related issues in your RV. Look for little things like this first. It might not be that bad, but you definitely want to deal with it before it turns into a major issue. Okay, so when I tell you guys I'm going absolutely crazy against rodents, not that I've had any come back that I'm aware of or get into anything. I check this stuff so frequently now. If you didn't watch the videos where I had to deal with the worst rodent issue, a bunch of babies, tiny little ones that were caught inside of the generator, the Onan generator, had to vacuum those out. It was super nasty. It was like 14 of them. Cleaned it all out, emptied the whole basement area, found a lot of rat droppings, cleaned it all out, sanitized it. It was absolutely nuts. And then I dropped the back panel under here to find out that they actually made it through the area right here and chewed through the power cord, at least half of it, and through a 12-volt connection. I fixed all of that, sealed the heck out of it, used stainless steel mesh, used different types of blocking material, used metal wire, all sorts of different stuff. And I think we finally, or actually I'm pretty dang sure we finally dealt with that. I, again, come out and check all the time, and I don't see any signs that anything's made their way back in there. But it was kind of cool because there was enough slack for my power that I was able to actually make a cleaner run with it and do some other little neat things in there to kind of tidy things up. But I hope you saw the video where I introduced this thing right here. This is a Mouseblocker. This is a 360X. This is actually designed to live outside. It's got speakers on all sides of it. It's about probably about 8 inches by 8 inches. It's really big, and it's designed, again, to be an outside solution, which is awesome. It's made for driveways and shops and all of that stuff. It's got lights on it, emanates sound. I'll probably leave it right here. So it's going to live right here, and I think that it's going to do what I want it to do. So I just want to give you guys an update that I'm installing this one. I'm just setting it there and I'm plugging it into the box as a way of possibly doing additional deterrence. Now, if you have a solar system in your RV, you could probably put this in the basement or storage area of your RV, plug it in if you just have enough power to run this. From a power consumption perspective, 25 watts. Yeah, this thing doesn't use hardly any power. It's only going to pull a little over 2 amps, and that's probably going to be easy to manage with most systems that are out there. And like I said, this is a really, really cool solution, and it's a layered solution, right? I got these things which make dog barking, hawk sounds, snake sounds, everything like that. I have four of these at least. I got 1, 2, 3, and I got 4 in the, yeah, I got tons of these things all around the RVs. And I actually see them work because I have a camera right there that points this way, and when rabbits or anything, rabbits are typically what I see, but when they start coming close, you actually hear these things go off and you see them run away the other way. Same with deer, same with all sorts of stuff that's out here. So they have been working. I have to unbury some hoses that are buried close to the ground. But yep, anyways, we're going to use this out here as an extra layer of deterrent. Channel sponsor eTrailer.com carries this, plus the entire lineup of the Mouseblocker solutions. Some that are installed under your hood, some that are installed inside of a vehicle, some that are installed inside of an RV, and some that you simply just plug right in. So go check them out if you're looking for these solutions, and these have the highest reviews of actual real reviews of any of these types of products on the market. So I'm inclined to believe that they're somewhat effective. But I've always told people it needs to be a multi-stage approach. It can't just be this and nothing else. You have to block things off, avoid the food source, clean up your RV, add extra deterrent, use lavender, use Irish Spring, plug any holes, all of that stuff, and include this as part of your plan. Because we know 8 out of 10 rats are going to go past some things, but the more you reduce that number, the better. And that's what the goal is.